From Lucas Oil Stadium in downtown Indianapolis, this is NFL preseason football. Tonight, the Indianapolis Colts face the Cincinnati Bengals. Hi again, everybody. I'm Don Fisher, along with former NFL and Colts coach Rick Venturi. Well, Coach, I don't think for a majority of the rosters of these two football teams there's a bigger night in this preseason.
No, this is huge. This is the employment bowl, if you will. You know, and this is big. I used to tell my players this, is tonight may not be a big game from a media standpoint, but from your resume standpoint, it's huge. You're making that resume, you're making that composite, one, to make the Colts, two, to make the rest of the National Football League. It will be the most scrutinized tape throughout the league over this weekend. All these things are at stake. Backup positions, bottom of the line positions, and practice squad positions. And remember, the practice squad is nothing to laugh at. You're talking about a kid can make $107,000 a year, which most college graduates just cannot do. So I think you'll see a ferocious battle tonight.
Well, that brings us to the Bud Light keys to the game. And, of course, they're brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for living life for your own playbook.
First key tonight, and maybe most important, is to solidify all the backup positions. There's a lot of positions from a depth standpoint. Who's going to be the first sub next week? Who's going to play in specialized situations? Very important. Number two, it's very important to solidify your special teams. I would say in August, the coverage units have been up and down. Last week, pretty good, but they've been inconsistent. Now, almost everyone on the field tonight is vital to those units. So you want to leave tonight with a really good taste in your mouth from the standpoint of coverage. And then the third one, let's uncover a pearl. Let's find that Rocky Balboa, that kid who we don't expect to step up and have that great game to kind of hit that walk-off homer in the bottom of the ninth.
Well, we expect very few starters to play tonight, if any, in this ball game, especially for the Colts. I don't know about Cincinnati, but we look forward to an interesting matchup here this evening. The kickoff taking place in just moments from now. Indianapolis Colts football is brought to you by Bud Light, the perfect beer for whatever happens. There you see a shot of Lucas Oil Stadium as we get ready for football tonight. It's the Indianapolis Colts, Cincinnati Bengals, and obviously these two teams going at it here this evening for the final time in preseason play. Ladies and gentlemen, let's go to our PA announcer, Mike Jansen.
And now, to honor America, please rise, remove your hats, and welcome five-time Grammy nominee blues rock guitarist Kenny Wayne Shepherd in performing our national anthem presented by the Indiana National Guard.
Our national anthem, rather uniquely done by Kenny Wayne Shepherd here this evening. And it is time for the pregame injury report presented by Indiana University Health. Schedule an IU Health same-day appointment at iuhealth.org/same-day today. Well, injuries are just like the starters. We don't know about any of them going into this ball game. We do know about some, but there's no sense in even talking about them because those guys weren't going to play anyway.
No, they really weren't. And, this is going to be a fun night because there's a lot of guys, and we talked about it, in the open. There's a lot of guys battling for a job here tonight. That fifth receiver, depth in the offensive defensive line, who's the fourth corner. A lot of those things could be, finalized tonight, Don.
Let's go down to the sideline. The Toyota Sideline Reports tonight brought to you by Toyota, and here's Steve Andrus.
Don and Rick, I couldn't have said it better myself. Tonight is about these players, many of which are trying to make a childhood dream come true of making it in the NFL. And no team knows that better than the Colts. The Colts, among the other 32 teams in the league, have the longest active streak of undrafted rookies making the Week 1 roster, and it's really not even close. You see, the next closest is the Chiefs with 12 consecutive seasons. Now, going into this game, there are 8 undrafted rookies that are trying to keep that streak alive and make it a 17th season. In case you were wondering, Duron Carter does count towards that list because this is his first NFL training camp, and also he was not drafted out of college before going to the CFL for a couple of years. So many great stories, guys. Zach Kerr homeless before he was making the roster last year. It's one of the great storylines in the 4th week of the preseason.
Thank you, Steve. Look forward to hearing your reports throughout our broadcast here tonight. Coach, I can't imagine what's going through the minds and the kind of butterflies that these young guys that are looking to make this roster in some form or fashion could be going through tonight. It's got to be like their Super Bowl.
It really is. That's just the best way to put it.
Tails is the call.
It
is tails. Cincinnati's won the toss. They're going to defer.
Going to play some defense.
Indianapolis will receive, and you'll kick that direction.
In this case, in many cases tonight, this is the biggest game of their lives. So you doggone right, butterflies. And if they're not flying, then you don't want them.
Well, trust me, for these guys, I would imagine they're flying pretty big.
If you're not nervous and you don't care, then you need to do something else. That's interesting. We had a little Jimi Hendrix on that kind of a return to Woodstock there to open this game.
Well, we're going to have a special guest coming up tonight during our broadcast. Jimmy Irsay is going to join us, and I'm going to ask him about that.
I can't wait. I'm going to get my headband on here.
Because I guarantee you, I'm sure that Jimmy liked that.
Absolutely.
He likes that guitar stuff.
Absolutely.
Well, right now, let's pass along to you that the FedEx folks are proud to deliver the game ball for the Indianapolis Colts. FedEx. Solutions that matter. Cincinnati, as you heard, wins the toss here tonight. They defer, and so the Colts will receive the football. And we're probably going to see so many different folks for both these ball clubs tonight, but the veterans will kick. Mike Nugent, and going back deep for Indianapolis, it looks like Boom Herron and Zerlon Tipton are both back there.
Yeah, they're gonna practice this tonight because this is how they're going to start it next week. So, here's a situation we'd see Boom, which we may not see a lot of rushes, but we're going to practice his kickoff return. I told you, special teams is huge tonight because most of the guys that are going to be on those teams are going to play a lot tonight.
Mike Nugent, the veteran kicker for the Bengals, boots the football. And Boom Herron will retrieve this at about 6 yards deep in the end zone and bring it out. Herron takes it right up the middle of the field, gets it right to the 20, and then goes down right around the 21, 22-yard line. Greg Little on the tackle for Cincinnati, so a 16-yard return, or actually that's going to be a 26-yard return on the play. And so right now, ladies and gentlemen, it's time for the Toyota starting lineups presented by your Central Indiana Toyota dealers. Toyota, the official vehicle of the Colts. Well, we're not even sure who's going to start in this game, Coach, so it's who to watch.
Actually, it's that starting line on the right side, Don, and I think that's Vitt back there. Take a peek.
Yep, Newhart is in there right now. You're absolutely right. And Matt Hasselbeck starts at quarterback. Vic Ballard is the man in the backfield. And Ballard takes the first handoff of the football game. Vic couldn't play last week because he had a bit of a hamstring issue, and it was questionable whether he might play tonight, but this is big for him.
It's huge, and he looked good coming out of there. I mean, he had good quickness getting to the edge.
So 3-yard gain on the play. Take a look at the Cincinnati Bengals here. Who to watch for them? Marvin Hunt, Devin Still, Chris Carter.
Those first two guys are high draft picks that really, it's more or less put up or shut up for them, Don.
Hasselbeck lines them up on 2nd down and 7 for Indianapolis. And again, the right side of that line in there for the Colts right now. Here's the handoff to Vick, and look at Ballard run. Great run for Vic Ballard as he crosses the 35-yard line before he's dropped by Shiloh Kao.
Well blocked. Everybody in that starting offensive line. No, Arkin is in at guard, but Newhart is in there to start with to get some reps. I like that. Those young kids, I tell you what, just a few more reps before you get going. Arkin at right guard. I'm sorry.
Yeah, that's great. 12-yard gain on the play, and Dante Moncrief is in there now as a wide receiver. High part of your screen. Sean McGrath moves into an H-back spot. Ballard gets the call once again and picks up good yardage again. He finds the hole, Coach. That's the one thing that was so impressive with him as a rookie.
He really did. 800 and change as a rookie, and he was a great slasher. And if you take it, it's just a little lead play up to the left side. You know, good block in there. Wrights kicks this guy out, leads through. Not hole. He made something out of that. That's impressive. His start is impressive.
Dorsett is along the right side, wide receiver, along with Moncrief. Griff Whalen in the ball game now. And McGrath, the tight end, moved on the left side of the line. There was a Cincinnati Bengal came across.
Offsides, number 96, defense. 5-yard penalty, still 2nd down.
Colts are the cadence kings of the National
number 98, 98.
Yeah, Brandon Thompson was the guilty party for Cincinnati. You're right about that, Coach, though. They do drop people offside.
They do.
Ballard stays in at running back. McGrath goes in motion again. Moves to the slot to the left side. And Matt Hasselbeck going to work on 2nd short yardage, giving to Vic Ballard. Ballard trying to find running room. There's not much there this time. He'll pick up a yard. P.J. Dawson in for Cincinnati to make the stop.
Trying to pound in there behind Lewis and Wrights over there on that left side. It is Arkin at right guard. It is Lewis and Wrights at the left side.
But there you see Jack Newhart, who's in the lineup, and Coach, he needs the work, doesn't he?
He really does. He's a new position for him. The more he gets, the better. He was more comfortable last week, Don.
3rd down and 1 for Indianapolis. And the handoff to Vic. Kind of waited for the block to take place, and then I don't think he really was able to make it for the 1st down. It looks like he's just a hair short. P.J. Dawson again on the stop.
Might make a decision here you don't make during the regular season.
Yeah, exactly. Hang out of the football, right, Coach?
I'll tell you the good news, Don. Well, they're not going to do it. They're going to play regular season ball. But, you know, the good news on that series is Vic did not look bad. He really did not. And I don't expect him to be, you know, in midseason form yet. This is really the first night that he's getting this kind of action.
Yeah, he just got a couple of carries the first time he played this year. Didn't get much out of that at all as far as a look to see if he really was feeling.
That's right.
Right out there. Brandon Tate is back deep to receive for Cincinnati. Pat McAfee is one of those people you will see tonight. He gets off a dandy punt once again. This spirals its way down just barely into the end zone and bounced out. But it will be a touchback coming out to the 20-yard line. So Colts move the football on their first possession for a couple of 1st downs, but not much after that. We'll be back with Cincinnati's first possession after this. Meijer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Don, let's take a look here, Coach, at who to watch for Cincinnati in this game. Offensively, there you see McCarron, who really did well last week on their offensive side of the football. And Tyler Kroft is a guy they're very high on, a draft pick for them. McCarron is the quarterback to start this ball game. And a run to the right side for Cincinnati. And the man carrying was Cedric Perriman. 5'10", 60-year player out of Virginia. Take a look at the Colts defense and who to watch there tonight, brought to you by Toyota. And there you see Jalil Brown, but I don't know if Jalil Brown is playing in this ball game. We'll have to check him out.
I'll tell you what's really interesting is Nate Irving is making his first play, his first start, number 55. And that's huge. That's the kid we got from Denver.
And everybody's been waiting to see him in action. They feel like he's going to be a major factor for this ball club as McCarron throws the football incomplete.
And that was good coverage out there by Deshaun Smith, the rookie. You know, he struggled a little bit last week, got turned around. Much better there on the wideout on the bootleg. Excellent footwork. He was right on top.
So it comes up to a third down play for Cincinnati on their first series of this ball game. 3rd down and 6. Bengals looked very good against the Chicago Bears last week in winning that ball game. And McCarron out of the shotgun, looking for somebody to throw it to, and the ball batted away, almost picked off. Terrific job out there by Chance Casey, who got a hand on that football to deflect it. Colt Anderson tried to intercept it, but couldn't quite get to it.
He may have just hooked him with the right hand.
Holding, number 6, defense. 5-yard penalty, automatic first down.
Holding, not interference. That means he got him at the line of scrimmage.
So a mistake there for Indianapolis gives Cincinnati a first down at their own 29-yard line. Casey did come out of the ball game. And we're still not seeing Jalil Brown, and I'm not going to speculate on that, but I think there was a question whether he would play tonight because of an injury. Sideline throw to Pierman out of the backfield, makes the catch. Pickup of about 6 as Deshaun Smith comes up and makes the tackle.
Like I said, that's really a good sign. He's into this game. He struggled a little bit. You know, it's a big game when you're a rookie coming in there at the corner on that island, but he's already looking sharper tonight than he has before. This is Sheldon Price over here on the right side, who's had a good camp.
And Jalil will not play in this ball game tonight. C.J. Uzomah in the ball game now for Cincinnati. And this again is Pierman running the football for the Bengals, but the Colts right side of the defensive line stiffens tough on that play.
It really is, and that's really encouraging because you're playing your young kid, you're playing Perry, and you're playing Anderson in there right now, and those guys are going to be a factor. They're going to be a factor without Arthur Jones.
And Bjorn Werner's in the ball game, coach, and he's trying to maintain his spot on his roster.
Yeah, now you got your nickel team in there, so now Smith goes to the nickel.
And it's 3rd down and about 3 for Cincinnati. McCarron, the quarterback, out of the shotgun. And finds his man right over the middle as he cut inside on a slant, and that was Greg Little who made the catch for the first down. Colt Anderson on the stop.
Yeah, get right angle.
18-yard gain of the play for Cincinnati.
This is a slant pattern right here. Have to look at the coverage. All right. That's really on Silvestri right there. He's got to take that slant pattern coming in there.
Cedric Pierman is the running back in the backfield for Cincinnati. And the Bengals hand off to Pierman. He gets shoved backwards all the way back to the 46-yard line of Cincinnati. A terrific defensive play, and the first guy there, I think, was Earl O'Kine.
Yeah, actually, Herrera shot the gap right in here, 49. He upsets the apple cart, and then right behind him is O'Kine, like you said. Both guys got great penetration by Herrera to start it out.
Really good job on the defense there. And Cincinnati now 2nd and 18 after a loss of 8 yards in the play. McCarron changes something, steps back in the shotgun. Throws it out to Pierman out of the backfield once again, and he makes a nice run down the field. Chance Casey again got over there to kind of trip him up and send him out of bounds. Junior Silvestri was there as well. But a good run by Cincinnati Cedric Pierman.
Geathers is the fault here. Geathers has got to get out in the flat. That's just a 3-deep pattern. Geathers is up there in the dime. He's got to get to the flat. That's his coverage.
So now it brings up 3rd down. A long 2. Little is the wide receiver to the top of your screen. Brandon Tate to the bottom. And McCarron out of the backfield. Gets pressure and has to throw it away. Nice job by the Indianapolis defense again. Silvestri was shooting in there as one of those guys putting pressure on.
Blitzed off the left side right there. I think we're probably going to get a holding penalty as well.
Well, we'll check it out here when the official turns it on.
Personal foul. Chop block, number 30. Offense. Penalty has declined. It's 4th down.
That was Pearman, the running back, who made the mistake there, and that brings up 4th down for Cincinnati. And let's see what the Bengals decide to do. Looks like they're going to go for it here, Coach.
They're in the alumni zone here from the 50 to the 20. Alumni zone in preseason.
Shot of Marvin Lewis there on the sideline, the longtime veteran coach of the Cincinnati Bengals in his 13th season. And boy, they've stuck with him for a long time, Coach, and it's paid off for him.
He's had a great record. You know, he's got one elephant in the room, and that's those playoffs.
4th down for Cincinnati. McCarron is the quarterbacks. Pearman is the running back alongside. Both wideouts to the near side of the field. And McCarron looks, pressure, runs.
Great job.
Terrific job by the defense again. Junior Silvestri was in there again.
That's another 5-man blitz. When we get a chance, we'll take a look at it from the wide angle.
Well, we have timeout on the field. No score in this football game, and the Colts get a second possession here coming up in just a few seconds. Today's defensive coverage is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. And Coach, we just saw it.
We really did. We've got the what I call the bluff up here. As the linebacker walks up in here, you got 5 men threatening. You got man-to-man all over the place, and basically the result is, you know, is basically sack, pressure, excellent play.
And that was today's defensive coverage presented by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. Get the coverage you need and stop knocking on wood. Same lineup for Indianapolis is Matt Hasselbeck in the game with Vic Ballard in the backfield, and a long throw down the field. Dante Moncrief trying to pull that one in, and even if he would have hung on to it, it was going to be out of bounds. He was out of bounds when the ball got there. Chris Lewis Harris had the coverage.
That's what you got to do on the fade. On the fade route, basically, when you've got that, you've got to put it out there on the boundary where either the receiver gets it or it's out of bounds. That's actually a good throw in that situation. That's the only place to put it. Good coverage.
2nd down and 10 for Indianapolis. Moncrief lines up as the wide out to the near side. Philip Dorsett is a wingman to the left side. And we got pressure coming up from Cincinnati. And a couple of guys going at it in the line of scrimmage.
Ball start, number 60. Offense, 5-yard penalty. Still 2nd down.
Not a good play for Lance Lewis, who's the starting left guard for Indianapolis. And I mean starting left guard, so he's getting some work here with this unit out there, and he was the man guilty of the infraction. 3
starters in there, you know, Holmes and Lewis and Muhart. So, you know, I think they want to give Matt a chance there. I don't think they want to go too far down the line.
Yeah, that's important, too, to keep your second guy healthy. 2nd down, long for Indianapolis, 2nd 15. McGrath is the tight end who's kind of moving around in an H-back position. Nice throw out of the backfield of Ballard. And Vic not able to get a lot out of it as he picks up maybe 4 yards. P.J. Dawson on the tackle once again for Cincinnati.
Bengals playing big, deep zone there on 2nd and long, giving you the short one. And again, we're seeing Ballard get a workout. This is good. I don't know that we really even anticipated this. This is what you need to see tonight.
And he's a guy that has had such bad luck with injuries in his last 2 seasons. Achilles last year, knee the year before that, kept him out of both seasons after a terrific rookie season 3 years ago. And now a little dump pass off to Vic. And the safety valve is able to pick up maybe 4 yards on the play, but it's not going to be enough for a 1st down, and obviously it'll be 4th down and long, and the Colts will punt it away as Pat McAfee checks into the lineup.
False start penalty really hurts. You know, puts you in 2nd and 15, makes it much more difficult. You got to take that shot on 1st down to Moncrief. When they give you that press coverage, we have that speed. You got to take that shot.
Brandon Tate is the deep man for Cincinnati as Pat McAfee will punt the ball away on 4th down and 8.
Tate was 4th in the league last year, Don, in returns.
Very dangerous man on the field. And he runs it down, pulls it into the 19, and breaks a tackle, but not enough tackles because there were several players on top of him before they could spill him after a couple of yards on the return. And Cincinnati will have the ball when we come back. Colts win, you win. Get 50% off your regular menu price online order the day after the Colts win. Log on to papajohns.com and enter promo code COLTS50.
Well, Don, interesting here, and this is good to see. Now you see Chapman and you see Kerr in there. So they're rolling those guys, Anderson, Kerr, Perry, Chapman, and I think that's what you're going to end up doing to those other two positions on the other side of Langford. So we're going to see him play tonight, Chapman and Kerr right now.
Cedric Pierman back in there as the running back along with A.J. McCarron, the quarterback out of Alabama. Fires it off to Pierman. Pierman finds running room on the right side and takes it up the sideline for a nice gain and a first down as DeJon Smith finally catches up to him and brings him to the turf. And a big first down for Cincinnati.
Colts blitzed, and somebody has got to cover that flat. Somebody on the outside has got to cover that flat. I would think it would be Werner right here. I would think that's his coverage all the way. He's overplaying the tight end in there and letting that guy get to the flat.
First down for Cincinnati at the 37. And Pierman gets the call right off the right tackle this time and picks up 3.5 yards in the play to the 40-yard line where Earl O'Kine makes the stop for the second time tonight.
And Chapman in there at nose tackle trying to hold a point. Here's Chapman. Take a look at Chapman here. That's a pretty good play right there. Got to get some help in there by the linebacker behind him. That's not bad by Chapman.
Second down. Call it a long 6. Karen under center. Tate in motion. And the handoff to Pierman. And not much there once again as the Colts inside doing a nice job. O'Kine again into the tackle.
Yeah, Herrera filled it up really good too behind him that time. Got much better fill behind him.
You know, Herrera has really done a good job of this preseason, Coach. I don't know that he is one of those guys that's even playing for a spot right now because it appears as strong as he's been that he may have to be kept.
And he's a guy you want to keep around even if it's on the practice squad because he is productive.
Kid out of Georgia. That's third down for Cincinnati. 3rd and 6. And McCarron gets pressure again. He gets past one man and he's going to get tripped up and brought down before he can pick up the first down. They needed to get to the 47-yard line and unable to do so.
Big picture. Okay, this is a blitz off the left side. You see the safety and the linebacker coming. Now he sprints out to this side. O'Kine actually has to keep him in there. We're fortunate he didn't get further than that. Blitzed off the left side.
So 4th down and Philip Dorsett is back deep for Indianapolis to receive this punt. And that is Kevin Huber out there punting the ball away for Cincinnati. A short punt. Philip Dorsett gathers it in, but there's no place to go as he was trying to go sideways. And Jason DeMoncha is the man who makes the stop, the 3rd-year player out of Southern Illinois. So we'll be back with the Colts possession in a moment. It's now time for the Forum Credit Union question of the game. And that question tonight, when is the last time the Indianapolis Colts had 2 1,000-yard receivers in a season? And we'll have the answer for you here in just a few minutes. Vic Ballard tonight, 5 carries, 19 yards in the first 2 possessions for the Colts here this evening. And Vic stays in the ball game. He's getting a real good look at this game, Coach, and I love that.
He really is.
Like that a lot. Hasselbeck stays in at quarterback. Colts have 1st and 10. Their own 20. We'll throw out here in the flat to Sean McGrath, the tight end, who makes the catch. Runs his way up across the 25 to about the 27 where Sean Williams makes the tackle.
Yeah, this is just a little go, flat route with motion. And you'll see him quick rhythm. This is what Matt does best. Quick rhythm, get it out of there, drive it off, throw the ball underneath. That's when he's at his best.
Good for 8 yards in that play. Makes it 2nd down and a gettable 2. Colts have most of the receivers in tight this time. And that's a handoff to Vic Ballard. Ballard trying to find the first down marker and can't quite get to it. Just shy of it after a gain of 1.5 yards. Pat Sims on the tackle for Cincinnati.
A couple of interesting things here tonight, Don, that I think we should know. One, Boom Herron and Dorsett on the return. So that's who's going to do it next week. So they're getting a little bit of live action. Number 2 on defense, the nose tackle and the 3 techniques are playing. They're rolling in there, guys who are either starters or backups.
3rd down and inches for Indianapolis. McGrath moves into a fullback spot. Ballard gets the handoff. It is upended. He got popped up in the air that time, and it's going to be very close.
They really stuffed us inside. There was no place to go.
No doubt about it. We'll see the replay.
Yeah, they really stuffed us. They stuffed Harrison. They got underneath McGrath. No place to go there.
And they do not pick up the 1st down, so it's 4th down the length of a football. And the Colts will punt it away as Pat McAfee once again enters the ball game. Brandon Tate is back to receive for Cincinnati. Minute and 10 seconds remaining in the 1st quarter. Moving pretty fast with the Colts running the ball so much tonight. And here's a fair catch called for by Tate at the 23-yard line for Cincinnati. So the Bengals, they will have the next possession of this football game, and we have yet to see a score. There you see a shot of Henry Anderson as he awaits his next opportunity here defensively. And our question of the night from Forum Credit Union, question of the game, is when is the last time the Indianapolis Colts had 2 1,000-yard receivers in a season? Well, that answer, in 2009. Reggie Wayne and Dallas Clark, they also each had 100 receptions and 10 touchdowns that year. Phenomenal performances by those 2 men. Forum Credit Union, your money, your voice. Cincinnati football, 1st and 10, 23-yard line of the Bengals. A.J. McCarron hands off to Cedric Pearman, and he carries the football for a nice gain off right guard and tackle as Junior Silvestri continues to be active in this ball game on the stop.
Yeah, they ran away from Anderson there. They ran right at O'Kine here, and basically Herrera came under that block. He can't do that. He's got to force that ball back to Silvestri. That's why they gained 6.
2nd down and 4. McCarron wants to throw this one, and he overthrew his man because he had Tate open.
This is a good push rush here by Henry. I'm looking for the little things with Henry because I think you're going to have to accelerate his development. I think you got to have him ready quick. And one thing I think he can do inside, Don, because of that big length that he has, is push the pocket.
Mario Alford has entered the ball game, a wide receiver for Cincinnati, along with Greg Little. And also Michael Bennett is the wide receiver to the low part of your screen. It's 3rd down and 4. Colts threatening blitz. Here it comes. McCarron gets rid of the football. And boy, what a nice catch that was by Greg Little. Little went up. He's the only guy who had a chance to catch it and catches it for a 1st down at the 45.
They got man-to-man coverage here, and you're going to have what we call a back fade, which is very difficult. You got to jam him at the line of scrimmage. If you don't, you're going to be helpless downfield. See, he gets no jam. So now the quarterback just throws off of where the defender
is. The end
is.
of the 1st quarter.
And that's the classic back fade.
Yep. End of the 1st period here in Lucas Oil Stadium as the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals battle with the roof closed here tonight. No score in the 1st period of play. We're back after these messages. No score in this football game as we are about to begin the 2nd quarter here. Both defenses have been relatively prevalent in this game, Coach.
They've been really solid, and, you know, we're getting a good look at the 2 Stanford kids, Perry and Anderson. I think that's critical. I've said to you, Don, you know, with Arthur Jones out of there, they're going to have to accelerate the development of these guys. They really are. And they've played Chapman and Kerr some. So, you know, they're in a rotation there. We're going to figure out who can play best.
Pearman and McCarron stay as the combo in the backfield for Cincinnati. McCarron the quarterback, Pearman the running back. And McCarron throws it out here to Tate, but threw behind him this time. Coach, you said McCarron really looked good in that game against the Bears.
He was terrific. Dalton went out after the 1st series with a little bit of a strained neck, and McCarron came in, went 11 for 17, and I think 165 and a touchdown. He was on fire. So, you know, this is a very presentable offense in terms of him. So this defense is hanging in there pretty good.
Greg Little, the wide receiver to the near side. C.J. Uzomah is the tight end. And McCarron hands it off to Pierman, who finds a hole on the left side. It closes after he explodes through it for about 4 yards on the play. Colts gang tackling down pretty well, but he picks up 4.
Yeah, they were in a cover 2, which is a little bit of a soft front, so you'll concede 3 or 4. Herrera was all over that. Now you got a third down, you got to win, Don.
Third down, just shy of 6 yards. Wide receiver on either side, the slot receiver to the right. Yep. Threatening. Here it comes. Throw down the field. And the ball again overthrown.
Excellent by Sheldon Price there. Now that's exactly what I was saying before. Sheldon got the jam and upset the timing totally. There was no back fade there. If we get a chance to look at it, I'll show you his hand placement.
Philip Dorsett is back in to do the return for Indianapolis as Huber is out there to punt the ball away once again for the Bengals. It's off a short punt, and Dorsett's going to call for the fair catch at around the 17. So Indianapolis will have the football as the Colts once again get possession as we stay here with no score in this football game. Well, coming soon, Arby's collectible Colts glasses are back. Get Arby's exclusive collectible glasses featuring 2 new Colt players every 2 weeks. Only $3.99. Well, the Colts offense back in the field, and we've got a new quarterback in the ball game as Brian Bennett is checked into the lineup. Vic Ballard, however, stays in there as the running back. Right now we've got an I formation in the backfield. Sean McGrath is the blocker in front of him. A little rollout by Bennett. Bennett throws it a little bit too low for Vincent Brown, and Brown can't pull that one in.
Now we've taken all the starters out of that offensive line, so this is a new group. You gotta probably have to move him a little bit like they did right there.
Yeah, you see Quan Bray is in the ball game as a wide receiver for the Colts. So is Deron Carter. He's to the high portion of the screen. And Bennett goes to work. A little pass right over the middle to McGrath. And that's going to be complete for about a 5-yard pickup.
McGrath has actually had a very, very good camp. This is just a quick rhythm, what we call a little basic hook right here. Press the outsides, and you'll see very quick rhythm. This is what you have to do when you get your backup lineman. You got to get rid of that ball quick. Now you're manageable at 3rd and 5.
Just underway here in the second quarter. Bennett, Southeast Louisiana rookie. Again, the quick pass. This one's caught. Nice job by Vic Ballard to reach for that extra yard out there, coach, and he got himself a first down.
Excellent stretch.
Darren Smith on the stop for Cincinnati.
That's that little bit of H angle. Again, a lot of quick rhythm stuff. Here he comes out of the backfield. You see him right here coming out of the backfield. Little angle route, as we say. Excellent finish. They stopped him short. He made it on his own.
6-yard gain total on the play. And Bennett goes back to work out of the shotgun. This time he's going downfield with this throw and looking for Vincent Brown, but that one's a bit too long. Defensive coverage provided by Chris Lewis Harris for Cincinnati.
The good job there, though, is that, you like I said earlier in the game with Hasselbeck, you either throw that ball on the outside and let him go get it, or throw it where they can't get it. You don't want to bring him back inside.
So now it's 2nd down and 10 for Indianapolis. Bray will split to the near sideline or to the low part of your screen. Carter to the high side. Brown in motion. And another throw downfield, and Carter thought the ball was going to be thrown to the sideline, and Brian Bennett threw it all the way downfield.
Yeah, see, they're pressing in there, and he got single high. And if I read that correctly, Carter should take it to the fade. And I think certainly Bennett thought that's exactly what he was going to do, and he runs the out cut. You don't want to run the out into a hard press and single high. There's nothing there. There's no way you're going to make it.
Same three wideouts in the ball game as Carter's to the high part of the screen, and down below Quan Bray. And another throw to Carter. This time he makes the catch, but it's going to be a hair shy of the first down, right at the 37-yard line, and they needed to get to the 38. Chris Lewis Harris on the stop.
We'll take a look at Carter right here. He's got a good release. Actually, the guy's holding him downfield, but he's got to get that first down. He's got to get enough yardage to make that first down.
But he did not, and that brings up another punting situation as Pat McAfee comes in to work once again. Brandon Tate goes back deep for Cincinnati. This is the part of the football field where Pat McAfee can get a leg into it as much as he wants. Gets a high spiral coming down to Tate. No fair catch call for at the 14-yard line, and he can't bounce his way away from the special teams coverage by the Colts as Enoch Muwamba comes up and makes the stop for Indianapolis, and that's where Cincinnati will take over when we return. Colts fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light Party Zone at Lucas Oil Stadium. The Bud Light Party Zone is above the north end zone in front of the windows that open the stadium to the Indianapolis skyline. There you see it, proud sponsor of the Indianapolis Colts. Well, Cincinnati once again with a football in their possession. James Wilder Jr. is a new running back in the contest for Cincinnati. McCarron is still the quarterback. He's under center at the 15-yard line and hands it off to Wilder. Wilder tries the middle, breaks a tackle or two, and actually scampers his way forward all the way across the 20-yard line before Clayton Gathers is able to bring him down.
Yeah, little soft in the front there. They were coming with a Sam Mike blitz, trying to hold this backside. Right now, not very good by Kerr. Kerr's on the ground. He's got to play better than that. Chapman held the point pretty good.
You see a shot at Clayton Gathers, who had such a really good training camp up in Anderson. Second down and about 3. Wilder again. This time he gets tripped up at the line of scrimmage. Pretty good job that time by Josh Chapman, Coach.
Very good job. Actually, Josh is really holding the point. The guy that's not playing like he's played is Kerr. Kerr's standing straight up there at the right 3 technique. See how he's standing right up?
Yep.
Excellent by Chapman, but Kerr's backpedaling. And so, you know, tonight Chapman's playing like we want him to play. I'm glad the Colts are playing him too. They've got to let him go, Don.
Third down, short yardage for Cincinnati.
Confusion.
Guys shifting around defensively for Indianapolis. Here's McCarron. Got rid of the ball, and the catch is made by Brandon Tate. If he breaks it, he could go. And finally, he is hog-tied and brought down. A nice job that time in the open field by DeJohn Smith to catch up and make this tackle, but Tate with a big play.
Okay, this is a blitz. This is zero blitz coming up here. Zero blitz. There's no safety, so you've got to protect the inside. If you don't protect the inside, there's nobody to help you. It's zero coverage. Excellent job by Smitty. Bad job by Sheldon Price. Smitty does a great job to recover from the left to make the tackle, but you've got to protect the inside with no free safety.
And it's a first down for Cincinnati. Deepest penetration for the Bengals at the Colts 29-yard line. McCarron has time in the backfield. Coverage is really good. He has to finally run with it, and he fumbled the football, and it's still loose out there, but I do think the Bengals finally came up with it.
The Colts did a really good job. The Bengals thought they had man-to-man coverage. They were going to run a double move down here on Smith. Okay, they were going to run a double move on Smith, but the Colts rolled the coverage there, so there was no place to go.
And McCarron carrying that thing like a loaf of bread, got it knocked out pretty easily. And Trey Hopkins makes a very smart play for Cincinnati. An alert play for the alignment. They lose yardage on the play back to the 31, so it'll be second down and 12.
Got a nickel in there now, Don. Got Smitty at the nickel.
Little splits wide to the left side. Mario Alford also to the left. And to the near side is Michael Bennett. Second and long. Little dump pass out here to the tight end. And the tight end is Tyler Crofton. He lost the handle. Did he get loose?
That was an excellent play by Gathers. This was a simple cover 3 or 3 deep zone, and they give you the screen pass right here. Okay, Geathers starts out to go to the flat. He ends up coming back and affecting the play. This is really good because you're zoning up with 3 deep. Now he's got to sense it. Watch him come up. Excellent play by Geathers.
Yeah, in fact, Croft went down. That's when he lost the football. So the fumble calls for the ground, brings the ball back, and that's a 3rd down and about 8.
Blitz coming.
And the whistle blows, the play dead before it gets started. Looks like a timeout called by Cincinnati.
This is the first charge timeout, Cincinnati.
So the Bengals take a timeout here as Marvin Lewis has a conversation on the sideline. We'll be back right after this. Jonathan Bird's Catering for all of your catering needs at 317-881-8888. Catering by Jonathan Bird's. Feast, friends, fun. Well, the Colts with 8:03 to go in the 2nd quarter. Right now have Cincinnati in a 3rd and 8. Deep in Colt territory around the 27-yard line. A.J. McCarron at quarterback. James Wilder is the running back. McCarron back to throw, gets rid of it. And what a nice catch made by Tyler Croft, who had to really reach for that one, but goes down under the hit by Enoch Mwamba. And they fail to pick up the 1st down, but they may be in that territory where they go for it.
This is really a good rush by Okine right here and Newsome. Watch these 2 guys. They make him get rid of the ball. They make him adapt it. See Okine right there, 64. Excellent rush. Good play by Mwamba.
It's going to bring up a field goal try for Cincinnati. 4th down and 4. Mike Nugent in to do the attempt from 41 yards out. Plenty of leg into this one. And he knocks it through, and we have our first score of this football game. So Cincinnati draws first blood here at Lucas Oil Stadium tonight. They lead the Colts 3-0. 7 plays, 63 yards, and a 41-yard field goal by Mike Nugent for the first score of this football game as Marvin Lewis's team takes an early 3-0 lead, and that was the Citizens Energy Group scoring recap. Citizens Energy Group proud to be the Colts conservation partner.
Well, the good news, Don, was the good news was it was not quite the red zone, but close, and they held them to 3. The bad news that they give a big play, and it simply was, Sheldon Price losing his 0 coverage, just losing his leverage, on the slant for a big play. I'll tell you the other thing that I like tonight is that Chapman is showing us some movement. He's making some plays.
Well, the kickoff, and Boom Herron deep in the end zone, brings it out. Herron goes right up the middle of the field and busts his way across the 20-yard line before he goes down. I'll tell you one thing, he does explode right up the middle of the field, doesn't he?
He really does, and I think that he got a little nick there. He got hit pretty good because when he's holding that shoulder down. That's a little bit nerve-wracking here.
Yep, you're right. And Boom is coming to the sideline. Meyer, the official super center of the Indianapolis Colts, will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Vic Ballard stays in there at running back for Indianapolis, and Vic tries to find some running room in the near sideline, but unable to find much. And let's go down to the sideline right now on a Toyota Sideline Report with Steve Andrus.
Joined by starting inside linebacker DeQuell Jackson, who's kind of taken on a coaching role tonight, helping relay some of the signals in for the younger defensive guys playing. And I want to ask you first about one of the guys that we saw on the field tonight for the first time this year, Nate Irving, coming off a torn ACL. I asked you about him in the locker room last week. You're pretty excited about this guy, huh?
Yeah, well, I was a fan of him when he was playing for Denver Broncos. He was a great player then, and he had a minor setback last year with the ACL tear, and now he's rolling. It was good to see him back out there in practice, and even better to see him in game play. He made a couple plays. One thing we know about Nate, he's a thumper. He's a guy that loves to hit, and he's going to be very valuable for us moving forward.
He's been itching to get back too, right?
Oh, absolutely. The guy, he's a student of the game. He's always stayed on top of everything he needed to in the classroom, and it showed tonight.
You're kind of the leader of this unit, along with obviously Jarrell Freeman as well. An undrafted guy, a rookie who's kind of made some noise this preseason, Junior Silvestri, another sack tonight. What have you noticed about him?
The guy can make plays. He's extremely athletic. He knows what to do. It's a matter of him just having the experience and getting the coaching. Fitz has done a phenomenal job, including myself and Jarrell, just coaching him along. Now it's a matter of just going out and applying what he's learned on the practice field and the classroom to the game.
Have you already started preparing for Buffalo?
Yeah, absolutely. I have about 3 games under my belt now. Just getting ready for him. It's going to be a dogfight. You know, Rex Ryan, his teams have been, known for being able to play great defense and run the ball. So we got a great task ahead of us.
Well, thank you so much for joining us. And Don, we want to thank Vic Ballard for not running us over during that first question as well.
Well, the sad part of that scenario is that Vic went for 9 yards on a play and then was really upset as he came off the football field. It looks like he may have aggravated that hamstring injury.
Yeah, no question, Don. You just see the disgust. I also like to check a little bit on Boom. I didn't like the way he held that shoulder coming off on that kickoff.
I agree. So you've had 2 running backs maybe in 2 plays that may be suspect from an injury perspective. And you saw Vic right there on the sidelines, very disgusted right now with his situation because he looked very good in that run and he's looked good all night long.
Man, the Colts have to do what they're doing. They've got to play him.
Second down at about 14 yards and a nice little flip pass to Quan Bray out there by Bennett, and Bray able to hang on to it as he picks up 4. Chris Lewis Harris on the stop of the play. Let's take a look at the play where Vic.
Yeah, you see him. He accelerates through the hole. He cuts it. And then you'll see him at the end of the play. Just pull it up there. Pull it up. Yeah, he slowed down. You can see that. It just gave that hammy just gave on him.
Yeah, he's not happy about it, as well he should not be, because he has had such tough luck with injuries here.
And that's the problem. You know, when you're coming back from a severe injury, you know, it's so difficult to have everything. You almost have to relearn to run, you know, and sometimes, you know, it's like patching a tire. You patch one hole and another one pops.
You know what? I don't know if it was serious because he did come off and he walked off the field, but he could feel it. So it's maybe just a strain.
I would think so. I think the disgust is that he's feeling good about himself tonight. You know, and the Colts are basically saying, hey, this is your shot. Go get it.
Marquise Flowers is the man down on the field for Cincinnati who's dealing with an injury right now, and why we have a delay in the game. You know, football is back, and the Colts' 10-day countdown to kickoff, presented by Verizon, starts today. Visit Colts.com/kickoff to learn more. Flowers is up. He's headed to the sideline. Looks like he's a little shaken out there, but walking under his own power. Second-year player out of Arizona. So we're waiting to get started here again while we got a second coach. Kick off your Sunday with detailed game analysis from the Hunting Bank Studios, Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. on CBS 4. Coach, First Down with Rick Ventura.
I know. Steve Andres and I are passing tapes back today, back and forth. We're looking at clips at Buffalo. I'll spend the whole week game planning the Bills, and you'll get it live and in person next Sunday.
I'm going to DVR because I go to early church.
Yeah,
I'll be DVRing that just to see what's going on.
That's right. Central Indiana church goers, just hit that DVR. I've even learned how to do that.
Ball resting at the 37-yard line. Indianapolis in possession now with a 3rd down and 6 when we return. About ready to do so. Brian Bennett now in quarterback, along with Zerlon Tipton in the backfield. Zerlon got a lot of work in that first game against the Eagles. Haven't seen a lot of him since then. But he's going to get some work in this one. Vincent Brown motion to the right, far side right. The top of your screen now is the wide out there. And Bennett gets hit just as he was ready to let go of the football. P.J. Dawson made the pop on him and brought him down as kind of broke down to the left side.
Bengals brought the heat here. They walk up both linebackers and twist them in the middle. And between Harrison and that interior, they just lose those guys.
Take another look at it.
This
here
is what I call basically it's a show and deal. They walk those linebackers up. You're going to see that all year. Sometimes they come, sometimes they rest. That time they twisted, and the Colts interior totally got lost.
So that brings Pat McAfee back on the field. Ooh. Gets the punt away, although barely. Pressure came that time. Brandon Tate is the receiver, makes the catch at the 14, tries to cut outside, and there's not much else he can do but get out of bounds, and he does so right at the 20-yard line. So that'll be where Cincinnati takes over 1st and 10. Colts fans, Wick Sugar Cream Pies are now available at Lucas Oil Stadium. Be sure you pick up your own 4-inch Wick's Pie today.
Tate's getting a workout tonight. He's very good. He was actually 4th in the league in kickoff returns, and Pac-Man was 6th in the league in punt returns. This is a good special teams unit.
Cincinnati 1st and 10. Little in motion. Wilder's the running back. He gets the call. Tries the middle. Well, I'll tell you what, when he just goes straight forward and hits that hole, he's a powerful guy.
He really is. Of course, his father was a terrific player with the Bucks. You know, the thing that I like tonight is Chapman. Now they've got Montori Hughes in there. So all these guys that are going to have to be factors a week from Sunday are playing. And Chapman's stacking it up really well in there.
Ball resting at the 25, 2nd and 5. Terrell Watson is now in the game at the running back spot. Wilder went to the sideline. McCarron stays in at the quarterback position for Cincinnati. He's worked this game to this point of the contest at the QB position. The official says he makes the catch. Brandon Tate making the grab there. And that's a 1st down for Cincinnati.
Got him turned. Right now, Smitty is a much better press player than he is off player, and I knew that would be that way. That's all he did in college was press. You know, he's struggling right now when he's in an off position.
11-yard pickup in that last play for the 1st down, and Cincinnati on the move once again. They got it in field position one time in this ball game, or got it deep in Colts territory for a field goal. That's the only score in this contest to this juncture. Long pass downfield, great defensive play there. What a job by Sheldon Price, who comes up and bats that ball away at the last second.
Sheldon is a guy who's got his hands on a lot of balls. You know, I think the guy gets up top on him, but this is great recovery and a great job of finding the ball without panicking. That's what we call find the ball in the blind spot. Very often the corner will get back there and he gets shaky, Don, and he'll get an interference penalty. Nice job by Sheldon.
So it'll make 2nd down and 11 the call for Cincinnati. And out of the shotgun, McCarron will work this time. Watson is still the running back for Cincinnati alongside. McCarron over the middle. Nice find to Tyler Croft. Croft makes the catch, and he's got a 1st down, and then he followed it. It's picked up by the Colts. And I think it might have been Price again. Sheldon Price, I think. Johnny on the spot. Croft made the catch, a nice run, and then he got belted hard, and he's hurt on the field. So Croft is shaken on the play. The Colts come up with a football as Croft got
ruling on the field.
This is
a catch.
This is
then
another
a fumble recovered and advanced by the
another
defense.
big play. The
First down, Indianapolis.
linebackers lost it underneath.
This is a 2-minute warning.
This is an excellent recovery by Colt Anderson. Excellent hit.
So the Colts get a break on a nice play defensively, and we'll come back and see what the Colts can do in the final 2 minutes of the 1st half. Break here, Coach. They got a big hit from Clayton Gathers.
They really did, Don. These two linebackers, they blow the coverage. They blow the coverage coming across. Colt comes back in zone, comes up and hit it, and then Gathers comes up and blows him up. And they end up blowing the ball up. This is a heck of a play by Gathers. And the reason this is, I think, really critical is the range that he shows, the hitting ability, and he's going to be starting in the dime next week. That's really encouraging.
Sheldon Price with a recovery, and now Brian Bennett goes to work as he gets blasted in the backfield, trying to get rid of the football. Flag came down, and we'll just have to wait and see what that's all about. But it was not a good play for Indianapolis.
Offside, number 49, defense. Lined up in the neutral zone, 5-yard penalty, still 1st down.
Yeah, Chris Carter, the linebacker.
That's a break. Carter's been outstanding for them. Now with this offensive line, you better move the quarterback and throw quick. I'm just telling you.
Tyler Varga is now in the ball game. Let's go down to the sideline and Steve Andrus.
Just wanted to clean up those 2 injuries for the Colts, guys. Boom Herron has a shoulder injury. He will not return, and unfortunately for Vic Ballard, the hamstring that he tweaked has sidelined him for the rest of the game.
This is the 2nd charge timeout, Cincinnati, 30 seconds.
Well, as tough as that is with Ballard, we really need to have Boom next week.
Yeah.
I mean, because he is the change-up guy to Gore.
Well, the other guy in this mix is Josh Robinson, and Josh Robinson's dealing right now with concussion syndrome.
I think he should be fine, but you just know that Boom can really play. I mean, that's the thing.
Well, you see that number 23 down there, Coach? That guy's going to be your first string starter when the game day arrives. So there's something positive there.
Yeah, no doubt about that one.
When the Colts score, the kids win. Speedway will donate $1,000 to Riley's Children's Hospital Foundation, for every Colts touchdown pass this season. Speedway, the official convenience store of the Colts. Well, Brian Bennett has to use the feet this time and can't quite pick up a first down, but he does pick up positive yardage to the 40-yard line, where Will Clark makes the stop of the play.
Yeah, the Colts here are in a 2-minute mode. They got to be quick.
Clock is running inside a minute 40 seconds now. 2nd down and 1. Bennett looks to his right, dumps to his left, and the ball's intercepted. Got deflected out there, and a flag comes down as well. And finally the stop made as Chris Lewis Harris makes the interception. He was brought down by Denzel Good.
And what's happened here is that the
holding number 68 offense. Penalty is declined. Result of the play is an interception. First down, Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati gets the ball back. Yeah, here you take a look.
It's a hold. You can't see it. It comes off the right side. Carter, number 49, has been an outstanding rusher and basically had to hold him. And the whole drive there was lack of protection. He had to scramble. He had to throw quickly there. And, that's a mismatch there. The Bengals backup second unit is better than our backup offensive line right now.
So both ball clubs now with a turnover in this ball game, and Cincinnati has the advantage now with a 1:17 to go here in the first half. And A.J. McCarron goes to work, throws to Brandon Tate. Tate able to catch the football. The forward progress is stopped right around the 48-yard line. A flag comes down very late. We'll see what that's all about. Chance Casey had the stop on the play for Indianapolis.
Personal foul, face mask, number 6, defense. 15-yard penalty, first down.
Well, Chance Casey's made a couple of nice plays in the ball game, and both times I think they've been negated by penalties.
This is a big one now because this tilts the field big.
It surely does. I mean, this is going to put the ball well into Indianapolis territory.
It's right in that alumni zone. When you get around that 36 now, you look for anything.
Only score of this ball game is a 41-yard field goal for Cincinnati's. Mike Nugent was able to knock it through. And now they're going to be back in field goal position again with any kind of yardage gain here unless you do that. Ball was dropped out there by Terrell Watson out of the backfield. So it's 2nd down and 10. Ball at the Colts 37-yard line. Still go ahead, Coach.
No, see if they play conservative here, but you'd like to knock them out of this spot. You knock them out of field goal range here.
Little and Alford are the wide receivers to the far side. Brandon Tate to the near. And McCarron wanting to throw, gets rid of the football. Tate makes the catch, and it's inside the 30 now, and it's a first down.
Straight zone, 4-man rush, and basically just hit the outcut. That's the vulnerability when you play 3 deep and your corners play soft.
11-yard pickup, ball resting at the 26-yard line. 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Yeah. And so with 1 minute and 2 seconds to go, Coach, they've definitely got a chance to score here.
They really do. This is high red. This is serious defense here.
Tate and Alford both split to the far side, Little to the near. Blitz. McCarron. Little dump pass on a screen and incomplete.
Good blitz here. Good job by Mwamba. He read it. He hugged him up right in there and made sure they couldn't throw it.
Wilder out of the backfield, the intended receiver on the play, but the incomplete pass now, 2nd down and 10. Colts using all kinds of different combinations out there defensively in this contest. Seen a lot of faces out there. Eric Patterson's at a corner now. Holt Anderson is the deep safety.
Blitz.
McCarron fires the ball. Little makes the catch for Cincinnati. Tried to jump up in the air. That was not the best play for him, but it's about a 9-yard pickup on the play.
5-man blitz. You're going to see the blitz coming here. Straight man-to-man coverage. Got to take away that inside right there. You're not going to have help on the slant from the safety.
Carlos Fields had the stop of the play. 3rd down and 1 for Cincinnati. Ball at the 17-yard line. Wilder, the running back, alongside McCarron in the backfield. And McCarron's going to throw this one away. It's a good pressure that time by the Colts, and that brings up 4th down. And we're down to 8 seconds to go here in the half, Coach. So they're going to have to settle for a field goal. And that's a pretty good job of defense.
It really is. It really is. Wasn't perfect. Got a couple plays, but you hold them to 3. You give your chance. You always give yourself a chance to win.
So the Colts force Cincinnati into a field goal situation here as Nugent and Huber combine here. Huber is the holder. Your normal punter does the holding for Cincinnati, and Mike Nugent, who has 1 field goal in this ball game, will try this one from 35 yards out. And he's got plenty of leg into this one and right through the uprights for the score. So with 4 seconds left in the half, it is now Cincinnati leading Indianapolis 6-0. But honestly, Coach, I'm pretty pleased with what I've seen from Indianapolis defensively in several of these situations tonight.
Yeah, I think there's a couple critical things to take out of here. I think the play of Chapman is very good, and that's critical to next week. I also think the play of Gathers has been really good. Now, those are 2 guys, Don, that are going to be in the lineup next week. This is not depth. These are guys that are going to have to play. So, I'm very pleased with that. I think when you combine those guys in with your starters, you can be happy about that.
Well, this is the Citizens Energy Group scoring recap here. A 7-play drive, 42 yards, and results in a field goal for Cincinnati. And Citizens Energy Group brings you the scoring recap. Citizens Energy Group, proud to be the Colts conservation partner.
The one disappointing thing in the first half is the one guy that's been out there almost all night long, and there's been a ton of passing situations, has been Warner. It really is. You just like to feel like that in a game where they're throwing the ball and you have your second offensive line in the game, like you just like him to be a factor.
And I don't think we've mentioned his name at one time in this ball game.
Newsome, not much better, and those are kind of guys that are fighting it out for those backup positions. Right now behind Cole and behind Walden.
Here's a squib kick down the field, and it'll be picked up by Zerlon Tipton. And Zerlon carries it up the middle. Nice run back as he gets it across the 40-yard line before he goes down. But that will end our first half here at Lucas Oil Stadium with the Cincinnati Bengals on a pair of field goals, taking the lead to the locker room at halftime by a 6-0 count. And we'll have a chat with head coach Chuck Pagano here in just a second. He'll be joining Steve Andrus in a moment. But the Colts head to the locker room, as do Cincinnati. And here's Steve Andrus on the sideline with the coach.
Coach, 30 minutes left for a lot of these guys to try to make an impression for you. How big are these 30 minutes in your experience?
No, it's huge. It's very, very important. And these guys got to come out and they got to perform. We got to do a better job, offensively, try to get something going, get a drive, put some points on the, on the board. Defensively, we're doing a decent job. But, for all these young guys, offense, defense, and special teams, they got to become necessary.
Thank you, Coach.
Thank you.
One other injury to update, guys. Sheldon Price is out with a concussion.
Wow, that's never good when a guy hurts himself in a preseason ball game like this. But Sheldon Price has played well tonight. He will not be back for the second half, however. And we are at halftime here at Lucas Oil Stadium. Back with our halftime show in a moment. Indianapolis will be kicking off to start the second half as Pat McAfee will set the ball on the tee, and we'll be ready to go here with the second half kick. Cincinnati with a 6-0 lead to start the second half. Bengals have had the better of it offensively, but the Colts defense has done a nice job at keeping them out of the end zone. Just field goals allowed in this ball game, a pair of them by Mike Nugent. And here is the kick. Mario Alford is back deep in the end zone, and this one out of the end zone and no return. Alford could not retrieve that one, and so it'll come out to the 20, and That's where Cincinnati will take over 1st and 10. Let's see if they stay with A.J. McCarron. And it looks like he will stay in the ball game, at least here at the outset in the 3rd quarter. He's quarterbacked the entire ball game for Cincinnati in this one. Terrell Watson, who has seen some play in the offensive backfield for Cincinnati, is in there as the running back right now. Got a new wide receiver, Jake Kumerow, to the near sideline. Cincinnati looking at a lot of their players tonight too, although I don't think quite as many as the Colts have. Pretty good run there. A nice hit by Terrell Watson off the right side of the line. Able to carry it for about a 5-yard gain.
Yeah, they're starting the ball to the weak side and then running back over there. O'Kine blocked. You know, Gathers got to get down a little bit, cut it back all the way back to what we call the C gap.
Jan Werner is still in the ball game.
Chapman's still in the ball game. Kerr's got to pick it up tonight. Kerr's not on his game tonight.
Karen works the quarterback position under center this time. And here's a fumble, and the Colts have got the ball. And the man on top of it. Nice job by Clayton Gathers to gather it in, and the Colts have the pigskin.
Yeah, good job by the
Rolling
linebacker.
on the field as they
Good job by the linebacker.
Covered by the defense.
Blitz.
1st down.
Excellent tackle in the hole.
So a really good job by the Colts there, and that's the 2nd turnover.
That's
this
Herrera
ballgame.
right there. That's Herrera. Excellent job on that situation back there. Herrera ran through, and then Silvestri on the backside got the big hit. Forced the fumble.
So Indianapolis gets great field position at the 33-yard line of Cincinnati, and Brian Bennett goes to work. And downfield he goes, looking for Duron Carter, and he makes a terrific catch. That's the kind of stuff you saw in Anderson, Coach.
And that's the back fade. That's the back fade again. You know, again, he gets off on release, doesn't get jammed, so then the quarterback's going to throw it where the defender isn't. So the defender didn't touch him, he stays high. Now you throw the back fade, and that's perfect execution.
23-yard
Good job
play.
by Carter.
23 and a 1st down for Indianapolis, just inside the 10-yard line. And Bennett hands the Zerlon Tipton. Tries to find a hole to the right, and there's simply nothing there. Barely got back to the line of scrimmage.
Need to get 7 here. Need to get 7.
Shiloh Ko is the man who makes the tackle for Cincinnati.
And this is where you would expect Carter to be really good, because he's got the length. A little bit, you know, like a poor man's Andre Johnson, where you get down in here and run the fade stop, or get him in the slot and get him isolated on a linebacker. He's got the corner down here now.
Carter low side of your screen. Vincent Brown to the high side, tipped into the backfield. McGrath is the tight end, the H-back to the left. And Bennett gets trouble and gets away from it. Runs it upfield and barely gets it to the 9-yard line before he's brought down. Looked like he might get a little more out of it that time, but a nice job by Cincinnati's defense.
They closed late on that.
B.J. Dawson made the hit.
I really would have liked to seen him work weak back here. I think he got himself in trouble by looking strong, because Carter had one-on-one with no help back to the weak side. That's where you want to go.
So the ball is spotted right at the 10-yard line, so no gain of the play. 3rd down. Brown and Carter both split to the far side this time. Quan Bray to the near. Tipton in the backfield with Bennett. Bennett has not been able to get comfortable much in this ball game. They hit Carter with a pass, however. He gets it to the 4, but that'll be it. And it's going to bring up 4th down and goal at the 4-yard line. So we'll see what happens here. Will the Colts go for it, or will they kick the field goal?
The Colts knew that they were going to play soft zone defense back here, so they run the smash route underneath, which is a catch and run play.
And there you see
they were able to close on him, you know, but you got 4th down here.
And the Colts are going to go for it. Brown and Bray are to the far side. Carter now shifts to the far side. Brian Bennett with Tipton in the backfield. And the throw. And that ball is picked off by Cincinnati in the end zone. And And they tried to run it out, couldn't get it out, but it'll come back as a touchback, and Cincinnati will take over the football at their own 20-yard line.
Running on the field is an interception, resulting in a touchback. Timeout.
Can't do it.
Well, both times that there have been a turnover, the other team has done the same thing. So turnovers tonight, one of the keys in this ball game, and why Cincinnati still leads this thing 6-0. Back in a moment. Indianapolis Colts football is brought to you by Bud Light. Stay in the game and drink responsibly. Well, right now, Cincinnati takes over the football after a pick in the end zone of Brian Bennett, and they have it at their own 20-yard line. And A.J. McCarron stays in the ball game and goes back to work looking for a receiver and throws it incomplete, headed for a tight end. C.J. Uzomah is the guy who threw it to, a rookie out of Auburn, a number 5 draft pick for this Bengal team.
One thing a young kid's really got to learn is you never throw an interception going in or coming out. You just can't do it. And he forced it. He's trying to make a play, but he's trying to stick it in there.
Cincinnati with a 2nd down and 10. Karen is quarterback the entire ball game for Cincinnati. He dumps this one out here to Alford, and Alford down the sideline picks up good yardage on the play before he gets knocked out of bounds.
Yeah, again, the Colts had the blitz on. He sided it just out here to Alford. He's a very fast kid out of West Virginia, and you got to make the tackle. I mean, you're one-on-one out here. Here's the blitz coming with Sylvester. He reads it. He throws hot out here, and then you got to come up and make the tackle.
Winston Guy finally did, but Chance Casey was the guy who missed him. That's a 17-yard pickup and a 1st down for Cincinnati. Colts bringing the blitz, and they have an end around as Alford gets the pitch out, and he heads to the out-of-bounds marker once again after a gain of about 7 or 8 yards. Winston Guy was the guy who ran him out the first time, and he's the man who does the job again as he runs him out of bounds at the 43-yard line. And that's where Cincinnati now will have a 2nd down, and that was a 6-yard gain. So it'll be 2nd down and 4. Alford will split to the far side of the field, Little to the near side. And our running back is James Wilder Jr. once again, and now we've got.
This is the first charge timeout, Cincinnati.
So Cincinnati calls for a timeout, and we'll take a break here and be back with a special guest joining us here in the 3rd quarter in just a moment, right after these messages. Welcome back to Lucas Oil Stadium, and as you can see, we've got a special guest joining us here tonight with our 3rd quarter coverage. The owner and CEO of this Indianapolis Colts franchise, Jim Irsay. Thank you so much for coming up.
It's great to be here. Very excited.
I know we're going to talk about this ball game a little bit, Jim, but we wanted to mention as this play is run by A.J. McCarron going back, and another bubble up the air. And how about this? Colts battle for it, but I'm not sure. I think Cincinnati may have recovered the football.
Being on the air, I brought some good luck.
I think you did. I think O'Kine is inspired.
That's a Rick Venturi type of defensive play there. Strip, not just get the sack, but strip it.
You're too kind.
Well, Jim, I had to mention this. We mentioned it off air that you had to have something to do with that national anthem presentation tonight.
No doubt. Kenny Wayne Shepherd's a great American guitarist, and it was great to have him here adding a little special flavor tonight. He did a great job, and it was my type of anthem. It was great.
Well, Jim, the season's preseason is almost over. What are you seeing, and what excites you about this team?
I think what really excites me is when you look at what we accomplished last year, and you look at this football team and see what we've added, and of course a lot gets held back in preseason. Gore didn't play a lot, obviously, and just to get your complete team gelling together and getting ready out of the gates in Buffalo, in our case, I think we have an outstanding chance to have a really special team. But look, nothing's guaranteed. We're 0-0 starting, so there's a lot of preseason hype. We know about it. We have to block that out and just play one play at a time.
Quan Bray on the return here for Indianapolis. There's going to be another timeout. We'll have a chance to talk with Jim some more here in just a couple of moments. But we have 6-0 on the scoreboard. Cincinnati leading Indianapolis right now. We're back right after these messages. Fans were invited to gather on the north side of Lucas Oil Stadium for the American Family Insurance Touchdown Town, a pregame party area for fans of all ages. American Family Insurance, insure carefully, dream fearlessly. Declare your dreams at amfam.com/dreams.
You know, Jim, it's amazing because it just seems like yesterday when we were in that small room in Baltimore and you addressed us. We were a very small group then. And you said, we're going to Indianapolis, and we're going tonight. And it's been awesome for you. Nobody does it better. You've had great success here. I think the thing I want to ask you is, along the way, who were your biggest influences?
God, there's so many, Rick. I mean, really starting with one of the founders, one of the 7 founders, George Halas. You know, he was at my wedding. He was even at my confirmation when I was 12 years old. And my dad was a good friend of George, and you know, I tell George McCaskey, his grandson, all the time, you know, your grandfather was at my wedding and those things, and it's just unbelievable. You know, George Halas, again, playing the Bengals, Paul Brown, what a big influence he was on the game. Really, it's like having a chance to be a senator or something in politics and having known George Washington and Abraham Lincoln. I mean, to meet the guys that really started this thing, what a blessing for me that I've been able to, you know, come up that way and learn, and coming up on a half a century in this league. But I'll tell you one thing, going into this season, Rick, I'm as excited about any year as I have been. And when you think about Andre Johnson, Robert Mathis, Frank Gore, you know, coming onto a team, not even to mention a few of the other additions like Dorsett, but coming onto a team that already was a Final Four team, it's incredibly exciting. And I can say this tonight, Robert Mathis is really progressing well on his recovery. You know, I see him in September playing. I see him in this building in September playing. The way his progress is going, I don't see anything slowing him down. And you know what a boost that would be to have the likes of a guy like Mathis joining Gore and Andre Johnson to an already excellent football team.
Best play of the ball game for the Colts offensively just a couple of moments ago with Brian Bennett knocking a nice throw to Vincent Brown down and came up with a big first down. Jim, I've got to ask you this question because Coach Venturi told me about this last week. He said that literally you started out under your dad, learning this business from the ground up, from the very beginnings. You worked almost every job in NFL football as far as the administrative side of it is concerned. And that has had to pay unbelievable dividends for you as an owner, has it not?
No question. I mean, you know, I was there picking up the jock straps and literally, you know, I remember when we were working in equipment and one of the equipment guys back in '73, we were getting paid $5 a week literally, and they wanted to go on strike to get $15, and they fired us all for a day. We ended up coming back to work. But I mean, that's a true story, I kid you not. But it really is to have worked in literally every area, to be on the road as a scout like I did, you know, to have worked in equipment, tickets, every aspect of the organization. It gives you a great perspective and appreciation of how many unheralded heroes we have. And look at this young man out here. He is going to make it difficult for us. You know, this guy. It's tough to see Ballard come up, you know, with the injury tonight on the hamstring, and the way Varga's playing. Ryan Grigson and Chuck Pagano has some tough decisions this weekend to make. Varga really is talented. He can catch it well. He can block. And his 40 time may have hit his talent a little bit, but again, this game you don't need a guy who can always take it to the house. You know, he is just an excellent football player and a great special team player. So he's an interesting guy, and you know, he's really like a Belichick guy, isn't he?
He really is. He's a much better athlete than people think. I think he can be a hybrid for you, a special teams guy. Listen, I don't care what league you're in. You cannot score that many touchdowns and make that many yards unless you're talented.
No question. And that's what I think where our roster is at this point. Obviously, the offensive line solidifying is a big aspect on offense, but we really do think Jack Mewhort can do it. We'll help him if we have to. Everyone remembers Pittsburgh was struggling. They couldn't protect Roethlisberger last year. All of a sudden they go to max protection and 621 yards and 6 touchdowns against us. You know, you have to protect your weaknesses, emphasize your strengths, and I think Chuck Pagano and his staff know that, and they'll do that to help someone like Mewhort if he's going to start out against Buffalo, you know, trying to pass protect opening game.
And he's such a young guy. He's just learning. He just started at right tackle. I mean, this is a process, isn't it?
No question. We feel Reach can do it. The only thing is with Joe, we just, you know, we worry about exposing him to the 16-game schedule. That you know, he's had some injury problems. He's a great swing backup. So ideally, if Jack Mewhort can do it, I think we're going to be pretty well set there. And Holmes has really adjusted inside as the center, and would have been last year if he hadn't gotten hurt so uncharacteristically against the Giants in that preseason opener.
What do you think, Jim, on defense? You know, it looks to me, and of course I got a lot of background with Langford. I think he's been outstanding in Walden in the preseason. What are you thinking about the young kids from Stanford? You know, they look to me like they've got a lot of upside.
No question. I'd love to talk about when we come back. Henderson and Perry, really great additions.
Well, we're looking forward to it as the Colts get their first points of the night on an added military field goal. It's 6-3. Indianapolis down by only a field goal. The Citizens Energy scoring recap brought to you by Citizens Energy Group. Citizens Energy Group, proud to be the Colts conservation partner. Well, Jim, you were talking about the 2 Stanford kids and how important they are to this football team.
No question. I think obviously being picked in the 3rd and 5th round, these guys did it in the Pac-10. They've done it against the highest elite competition in college. They're both very physical, tough players. I think there's no doubt that our run defense is much improved with them. I think Perry, even though he's short, that's okay at that position. He gets leverage. He's a big guy because he's 300 pounds at 6 feet tall. And they're really going to help us. We need them to step up. You know, the Art Jones injury is going to keep him out for a while. So we're still trying to figure out exactly how long. But we're going to need those guys to step up.
Tough situation with Vic Ballard tonight. Looked like he was really playing his best football in a long time. And all of a sudden he comes up with a hamstring strain. Obviously that makes it really difficult for these coaches, doesn't it?
It really makes it tough. I mean, we love Vic. I mean, you know, he's put so much heart and soul into his recovery, and we want to see him have a chance to have a second coming of his career. But the injury situation right now, it's going to be a tough decision, particularly with Varga playing so well and being able to play on special teams. Because, as you know, Rick in particular, you know, you got to get that roster. We've really focused on special teams in this new era the last 3 years, and you can see it in coverage and stuff, and we're going to continue to stress that.
Holding, number 49, defense, 5-yard penalty, 1st and 10.
I think this is an interesting thing that the fans probably would like to know. You know, you have the advantage. We talked about it. Don asked you the question. You know, you're one of the owners that really knows the game. I mean, you made your bones. You learned the game. You know the game of football. How does the process work as you guys get ready either for drafting or when you know, actually, you know, go to cut down? How do you and Chuck and Ryan kind of work it out together? Because you are very knowledgeable. You're a real exception in that sense.
Well, no question. You know, my responsibility is really to get Ryan and Chuck really functioning at a full level and making sound decisions. I don't have the time like they do, particularly Ryan, to look at players. So as an owner and a former scout too, one thing you know is if you don't have a chance to really study a guy, you're not going to make a call from a distance. So I am hands-off in that degree, but I also try to encourage, hear the thinking that goes into eventually when you take someone like Dorsett like we did, which surprised some people. But again, you take the best player on the board. The draft dictates to you, not the other way around. And we thought he was a special player being there. And again, I really feel good about the energy that Ryan Grigson and Chuck Pagano have together. It's false for anyone to say that there's friction there. There isn't friction there. Honestly, it's really, they work really well together. They have great debates, but they always come out respecting each other and trying to help each other, knowing if they put themselves in each other's shoes, in other words, not overstepping their grounds, either one of them. So we have a great working combination there, Rick, and it's shown obviously in the last 3 years, but we're at an important point right now in the franchise, obviously, and we'd love to make a go of it and get home field advantage. We don't shy away from that, but it's one game at a time.
Jim, one other thing I wanted to bring up. You got involved with this through your dad. Now you've involved your daughters in your football ownership, and that's just such a cool thing.
It's great. They're really engaged. All of them being 30 or a little older now. Time's passed amazingly fast, but they really are engaged, and I really encourage them again, to become knowledgeable as women and executives in this league. It's really something where they've done an incredible job in helping this franchise, and knowing that we have that in management and ownership, where you have more people coming up learning through the ranks. So they've done a great job.
I feel like next week in this huge opener, I feel like the old days in a way when we were all in the East, because that's going to be a tough one next week.
No question. Opening up in Buffalo, it's a tough one to draw, but they have a suspension on one of their top players, and it's Rex's first game as a Bill coach. So we're optimistic, but it will be tough.
We'll keep you around for one more couple of minutes when we come back after this. The official Super Center of the Indianapolis Colts will host special Blue Friday events throughout the 2015 season. During every Blue Friday, 23 lucky fans will each win 2 tickets to the upcoming Colts home game. For more information, visit Colts.com/Blue Friday. Jim Irsay has been our guest here in the third quarter of this ball game as the Colts take over the football down at their own 15-yard line. Jim, I wanted to ask you one more thing. It's going to be a special night when Jeff Saturday is honored with the Ring of Honor.
No question. Jeff means so much to this franchise. I mean, I can see him now in the championship game, recovering that fumble. What an epic moment that was for him. But just a tremendous man who's really, his stature in the league, of course, has grown even after his retirement. So he loves Indianapolis. He loves the Colts. He's meant so much to the franchise. That's going to be a special day. It's a alumni weekend, too, so we'll have a lot of alumni players in for it. It's going to be great.
Certainly, without question, a man deserving to be in that Ring of Honor. No question about that. Thank you so much for coming up here tonight to talk with us.
Thank you, guys. I tell you, it's been exciting. It's great to come up here and share with you, see my old friend Rick, who's doing such a great job for us. And all I can leave with Colt fans is that we are excited and we're really ready. We really are. And it's going to be a very special year, I believe. We have some really special guys who I think can take this franchise to the highest of levels. But again, it's a game at a time, and as Rick says, it's a tough opener, but we want to start off 1-0. That's the best way to start. So thank you, guys.
Thank you so much for coming up and joining us here in the third quarter, Jim. We really appreciate it.
Thanks so much, Jim.
Jim Irsay, the owner and CEO of this Indianapolis Colts franchise, and has done just a remarkable job with this franchise in the city of Indianapolis. Without doubt, has just been fantastic. So much for coming. Right now, Indianapolis still trailing in this ball game 6-3, but the Colts, I think, even though we were able to just barely watch what was going on here with Jim in the booth, they've made some progress here, Coach.
They really have. Unfortunately, they squandered the one red zone, snap where they'd probably have the lead. But that was a great insights into this team. And you can just feel the passion that Jim has. I mean, I mean, he believes and he's got that bar set high, and if you don't set it high, you're not going anywhere.
Well, McDonald's Big Mac sack. If Colts sack a quarterback, get a free Big Mac when you buy one at regular prices the next day. The Big Mac official burger of the Indianapolis Colts.
You know what? One thing that's interesting, Don, and it's kind of telling in a way, Chapman is playing so much tonight that it almost leads me to believe that we're going to see a lot of Perry next week.
I think you're right. Keith Winning is the new quarterback now for the Cincinnati ball club, and a man that's quite familiar to Indiana football fans. Played at Ball State, and of course had a tremendous career at Ball State University in his first season now with Cincinnati. Trying to win a spot in this ball club.
You know, right now you're almost to the fourth quarter, and you're playing Chapman and Montori Hughes. So I think we're going to see a lot of Anderson, Anderson and Perry next week, and I'm fine with that. I really am.
Well, I don't know how else you develop unless you play.
Well, the thing about it is both guys have the temperament. You know, they've played in big leagues, and they have enough talent, I think, to step in there and go.
Well, we have come to the end of the third quarter here in Indianapolis. The Colts trailing Cincinnati 6-3. We still have one quarter of football remaining here tonight and in this preseason prior to the start of the regular campaign. We're back right after these messages. Fans, be sure to visit the Bud Light tailgate tent across the street just north of the stadium for pregame fun and $3 Bud Lights. Make the Bud Light tent your place before the game. Right now, Cincinnati with 2nd down and 5. Just across their own 40-yard line. And Keith Winning, the quarterback now for Cincinnati. Hands it off. And Watson, the ball carrier for the Bengals, brought down by Nate Irving, who's getting an opportunity here tonight. Coach, if he can get back into the lineup, that's really going to help this defense.
Yeah, really will. They need a veteran backup. They really do. Those young kids flashed on, but they also get lost at times.
Let's go down to the sideline, a Toyota sideline report with Steve Andrus.
Here with the backup quarterback Matt Hasselbeck, beg your pardon. And Matt, this is such an interesting week in terms of roster dynamics and everything. You've had such a long and successful career in the NFL, but it all started your first year on the practice squad. What's this week like for these young guys?
Yeah, no, this is like the playoffs for a lot of guys. You know, this is when I played for the Green Bay Packers, I would give my tickets away for the regular season and try to trade out for tickets for the preseason because that was my only chance to play. And you know, we got a lot of young guys trying to make the roster, obviously, and some veteran guys as well. So this is important to them.
For some of these young guys, receivers, Brian Bennett at quarterback, wide receivers, what do the coaches want to see out of them?
Well, it's different for every player. You know, for the offensive line, you know, they want to see how they pull and if they're using the right shoulder and their technique. For Brian, I think it's just managing the huddle and you know, handling the audible system and not handling the checks. A lot of run game tonight, and so there's stuff that goes into playing the quarterback position with that. But you know, everyone's learning and everyone's in a different spot. We're having fun.
Going into your age 40 season, not 40 yet, right?
On my way.
No need to rush it. But what made you want to come back? 1-year deal for you to come back in a Colts uniform. I remember talking to you in the offseason. You never really considered retirement, did you?
Well, it's something I think about at the end of the year, but you know, I think we just got something special going here, and I love working with Andrew. I feel like he makes me better. He makes all of us better. I like the coaching staff a lot, and it's just a great organization, and you know, I think everyone's excited for a reason. There's something special here.
Where are we at in the process right now? Yeah, the 4th preseason game, a chance for a lot of young guys, but older guys, starters, I assume are already preparing for week 1 at Buffalo.
Yeah, we've kind of been giving them a hard time. Guys have been practicing, preparing, studying for Buffalo, even though we had a game tonight, and that's fine. But you know, we really haven't had everyone on the field at once. And so the preseason is part of it, but part of that evaluation and gelling process is in OTAs and in training camp and practices. And obviously we're very excited about our new additions, Andre Johnson, Frank Gore, Philip Dorsett, to go along with who we already have with T.Y., Kobe, Dwayne, Dante Moncrief. It's an exciting year.
Mr. Irsay was in the booth talking to Don and Rick in the 3rd quarter, talking about those same names, Andre Johnson, Frank Gore, Robert Mathis, basically an addition this year. What's this offense in particular starting to look like behind the scenes?
Well, it's going to be up to Pat Hamilton and the coaching staff to decide how they want to attack it. But that's good. I mean, we're in good hands. I think one of the key things is just, we say it all the time: protect and affect the quarterback. Protect ours, affect theirs. And if the defense would just do their job, we'd be fine. What? Oh, hey, man.
I mean, Darius, what do we think of Matt Hasselbeck here? I mean, he talks to me and the rest of the guys in the locker room, future in TV. Is he that good behind the scenes?
Even better. I learned so much from this guy, man, from how he dresses, how he acts in the locker room, how he plays, how he approaches the game in, game out, man. That's how you stay around for 17, 18 years,
That's enough. We do talk. We do, the quarterback, myself, backup quarterback, and the defensive backs, we talk quite a bit. I take a lot of pride watching these guys play on Sunday because it's the scout team plays that we're running against them. So the guys in the scout team, we've seen the play so many times. We're like, D-Butts, here comes. And he'll make the play, and it's good. We take a little bit of pride in it. They're a good group.
Do you pick him off more, or does he burn you more?
You know what? He doesn't have live pressure in practice, so he kind of picks us apart.
The red jersey helps.
A lot of times it's tougher in practice than it is in the game sometimes, honestly. So that's a credit to him and the other guys out there.
The coaches, they do that. They make it hard on the defense in practice so that it's easier on the field. They do a good job.
Well, Matt Hasselbeck, we appreciate you joining us. Darius Butler, feel free to crash my interview anytime.
Back to the game.
Back to you.
Thank you, guys. And there's a ball. Batted out of bounds there. We saw an injury. Junior Silvestri came out, Coach, and he's been a very active guy.
He really is. Both those kids, Herrera and Silvestri, have really had their moments. They're guys with futures. One of them probably is going to make it, and then one of them will probably be on the practice squad, depending, again, on Irving. I thought it was great to get Irving in there. He wasn't playing with the speed that I know he can play with, which is not unusual on your first time back. But, it'll be between all those guys. And, Mwamba will be in the mix for that fourth spot.
Matt Hasselbeck has played much better the last 2 weeks.
Matt has done a really good job, and I think what the Colts have done a good job is they've adapted to what he does best. Matt is a classic West Coast quick delivery, quick rhythm. He can move on the edge. You don't want him to get in a game where he's throwing 15 balls deep. You want him on that quick rhythm, and you can see it. He has really kind of taken it back the last couple of weeks.
And he's got good feet still at his age.
Still does, yeah.
Still moves around nicely back there. Wenning is the quarterback for Cincinnati here out of Ball State. Trying to get them in the end zone. It's third down and long, however. And a nice pass there, completed for Cincinnati, but shy of the first down. Catch made out there by Michael Bennett, the wide receiver, rookie out of Georgia. And that's going to call for another Cincinnati field goal as they try to take this lead up to a 9-3 advantage. So nobody getting into the end zone easily tonight, Coach.
No, you're one possession game. You stay at a one possession game, by holding them to 3. I've said this all along in the preseason. If you don't give up big plays and you play in the red zone, you're going to survive. You're going to survive and give your offense a chance.
And the missed kick by the backup kicker. This is a kid named Tom Obarski, a rookie out of Concordia, St. Paul, Minnesota. But you're not going to win a spot if you miss a kick like that. Not a very long field goal try. They miss it. Score stays 6-3. Well, it's now time for the hard worker of the game, presented by Indiana, a state that works, and nobody worked harder tonight than Clayton Gaithers.
Clayton was outstanding. I think that was the defensive play of the game, that forced fumble. But he's done 3 or 4 things, coming in, making the hit, that forced fumble, then he recovers the fumble. Just an excellent night. And that's a good sign going into the opener for him, because he's going to be on that field next week, Don.
No doubt about it. He's been a playmaker all through camp. As Brian Bennett goes back to work for Indianapolis and finds Duron Carter. Carter having himself a good performance tonight, and he breaks the tackle and heads down the sideline. Duron Carter with his biggest play offensively thus far here in the preseason. P.J. Dawson ran him out.
This is good play. This is a clear And this is a dig pattern, a big dig pattern right here, and good throw and catch and run after the ball. And you know, this is actually what Carter did in the CFL. He was actually elusive with the ball. He's very comfortable tonight. This is the first night I would say that he's basically comfortable from beginning to end.
42-yard gain of that play. Ball at the 38-yard line of Cincinnati. And good deep penetration for Indianapolis for the first time tonight. Bennett goes to work again. This time he finds Sean McGrath here on the sideline, and he makes a nice run after making the catch, and he's shoved out of bounds by Josh Shaw. So McGrath with a first down. We'll take a second
Again,
look
he
at
looks
this
it
one.
over, takes a peek, stays in rhythm. Nice little flat pattern right out here to McGrath, catch and run.
And that's 12 yards and another first down for Indianapolis. Carter and Bray are the wideouts. McGrath in the slot in motion. And Bennett goes back to throw again, avoids a tackler in the backfield, and then heads down to the far sideline and almost, well, he does get it inside the 10.
Flash that Southeast Louisiana speed that he has. This kid was a great athlete in college, both throwing and running.
He's got some
excellent.
clicks,
he really does. No, he's a very, very good athlete. I think he threw for nearly 3,000 and ran for 400 or something like that. No, he's an exceptional athlete. He's actually in the second half. He's really in rhythm throwing the ball.
Well, you know, and this is by far his best performance.
Oh yes.
You know, in the preceding 3 ball games, not so much, but tonight really special. And a nice throw there to Carter, who makes the catch down around the 7-8 yard line.
And we got to feel good about Carter tonight. Carter's very, very productive. You know, he seems to be relaxing. You know, I think he had that build up, and I just think he played very, very tight those first 2 games.
4-yard catch there. The ball resting now at the 8-yard line.
He's got that small corner out there. I'd like just to see a jump ball up there for him. Little corner with high tops. You got to throw the fade.
Bennett runs for his life. Now throws the ball. Just a hair off target there to Zerlon Tipton out of the backfield. The thing about Carter too, and this is interesting, but when you think about it, he played kind of tight leading up to the night. Tonight would be the night you'd expect him to be the tightest, and he's the loosest.
Yeah. But you know, he caught a couple balls last week, and maybe that just got him going, Don.
Third down conversions are brought to you by Huntington Bank. Welcome to the bank that's passionate about doing the right thing. Huntington, the official bank of the Colts. There you saw it, 3 of 11 tonight. And this is a big third down play here. Colts need to get down inside the 3-yard line for a first down as the timeout is called.
The Bengals have zoned it down here and kind of forced you to throw the ball underneath and run for it. I still think you can get it to Carter on a jump ball. I really do. And I'd like to see it be in the last preseason game, because I think that's a function that he can do for us. You know, Andre Johnson's going to do that with the starters, but he's another guy I think down the road you'll be able to use to do that.
Well, the Indianapolis Colts and Anthem Angels have teamed up to honor those who are making a difference on the field, and we need your help in finding these hometown heroes. Just go to www.colts.com/AnthemAngels to nominate someone you know who is helping others in our community. We will recognize a different Anthem Angel at each home game this season. Your big playmaker may be one of them. Well, right now it's third down for the Colts. Their deepest threat of this football game. And with 9:34 to go, Brian Bennett has kind of come off the bench here in the second half and made a difference.
Yeah, he stayed in rhythm, and when the protection has broken down, you know, he showed the athlete that he is.
141 passing yards in this football game, and without question this drive the best of the night for Indianapolis offensively. Now big third down play, 3rd and 6. Need to get down inside the 3-yard line for a first down or the score here. Zerlon Tipton's in the backfield. Bennett, quick throw. Right down to the 2, and I don't think Duron Carter hung on. He did not.
Got to get that ball up high to him.
Yeah, because he's such a target. I mean, that's the one thing that he's got going for him, an advantage
He really
over
does.
almost everybody.
They're going to run that out pattern here. And again, just use his height here. Use his height.
We'll see it a second time here. And that ball thrown low. If it would have been thrown high, it would have been first down.
Let him get it. Let him catch it.
Adam Vinatieri comes in to kick the field goal. Colts are down right now. And the boot on its way, and as you would expect, Adam Vinatieri easily knocks this one through. And the Indianapolis Colts have tied this football game at 6-all. Pair of field goals for both teams tonight. Celebrate the return of football with the Colts kickoff concert. It's presented by Verizon on September 11th along Georgia Street in downtown Indianapolis. Visit Colts.com/events to learn more about it. Well, the Colts have tied this ball game with a pair of field goals from Adam Vinatieri at 6-all. We have not seen anyone get into the end zone tonight, Coach, but we still have 9:26 to go. And the last thing you want to see in the preseason is a tie ball game and go into overtime.
Yeah, the last thing the coaches want is that's for sure.
Nobody wants that. Nobody. Here we go. The end over end kick. And a nice boot by McAfee, as he always seems to get it very deep in the end zone. And let's take a look at the score, and there you see it. And that was the Citizens Energy Group scoring recap. Citizens Energy Group, proud to be the Colts conservation partner. Chuck Pagano on the sideline as Indianapolis wins last week for the first time of the preseason to go 1-2. I'm sure Chuck would like to see him go 2-2 at this point. They've done that before and gotten 10 wins afterwards.
Yeah, and you know, you coach the heck out of all your players, your top guys, your guys at the bottom of the rosters. You want them to have success.
Wenning almost missed that handoff there to Watson for Cincinnati. Looked like he was thinking he was going to go a little wider on his approach to the line of scrimmage. Whatever the case, it's not much of a gain, and second and long now for Cincy.
Chapman and Montour Hughes in there right now, so that tells me you better sharpen up old Anderson and Perry next week.
Colts have used a ton of players tonight, but all of them backups for the most part, except for the very beginning of the game in which some of the offensive line played in there. Jack Mewhort was out, Khaled Holmes. And who was the third one, though? Lance Lewis.
Lance Lewis at left guard.
So those three guys all saw playing time tonight from the first unit. I'm not remembering anybody on defense, however, Coach.
Well, the only thing I will say is that I think there's a possibility that Anderson starts at the 3 technique last week. I'm not saying he will, but it's a real strong possibility, and he did. He and Perry played early, and they could easily be starters next week.
Wenning will work out of the shotgun after picking up a first down for Cincinnati, and throws the ball out there in the flat area to Michael Bennett. Let's go down to the sideline, the Toyota sideline with Steve Andrus.
Hey guys, we mentioned before the game that the Colts have the longest active streak of undrafted rookies making a week 1 roster, 16 consecutive years. And you know, we've seen some guys flash tonight. Junior Silvestri, inside linebacker, running back Tyler Varga, who Mr. Irsay seemed to like very much, and then Duron Carter as well. So Coach Venturi, that's kind of what I was wondering. Who of these guys do you think has the best chance to keep that streak alive?
Well, I think there's no question that Carter really helped himself. You know, at the end of last week and tonight, he really looked comfortable. You know, and you're going to keep 5. You're going to keep at least 5. And I think he would have to say he's clearly 5. I think the guy that's done a terrific job is Varga. I've liked him from the beginning better than most people. I liked him coming out of Yale. I've said that from day one. He's a much better athlete than you think. So, you know, and particularly with that injury situation in the running back and the necessity for special teams, you know, I think he's got a shot.
Yeah, Tyler Varga has played very well in this preseason. I read that story about him in the paper here a couple of days ago about the fact that he almost lost a leg just prior to going to college.
And I think he scored 30 touchdowns in college. Now, I don't care who you're playing against. You get in that end zone a lot. One thing that's interesting, Steve, is that, you know, they've played Chapman a lot in the fourth quarter and Montori Hughes, and normally you don't play guys in the fourth quarter to start next week.
Right now it's third down for Cincinnati. Wenning gets a little pressure but dumps it out here, and a really good open field tackle there by Eric Patterson, who makes a nice stop on the play on the receiver Bennett, who made the catch for Cincinnati, and they force a punt situation here for the Bengals.
This is a really good job by Patterson. They throw the ball in front of him. You got the blitz coming. He does a heck of a job of closing, and just an excellent tackle right there. That easily could have been a first down. Nice play by Patterson.
Kevin Huber will punt it away for the Bengals. Back deep is Quan Bray for Indianapolis. Good high spiral, and Bray jumps up in front, and that ball bounces toward the end zone, and the Bengals try to bounce it out. Were they able to do so?
I don't think so. No touchback.
So it'll come out to the 20-yard line, and Indianapolis will get the football with almost 6.5 minutes to go in this football game. And the Colts still looking to win this contest tonight. We're back in a moment. Kick off your Sunday with detailed game analysis from the Huntington Bank Studio Sunday mornings at 8:30 a.m. on CBS 4 with First Down and Coach Rick Venturi.
Yeah, we can't wait. You know, we're going to, as we've said all along, it's going to be a blueprint show. We're going to try to talk about the emotional aspects of the game, what the musts are on offense, defense, and special teams, and then try to give you the concept of the week to try to teach some football every week.
Well, I don't think there's any question. People want to know about the game. You're the guy to listen to, Coach.
Well, thank you, Don, and it's been great. This has been a great way for me to break in with you. It's been awesome.
Tyler Varga on the carry there. Let's go down to the sideline once again for a Toyota sideline report from Steve Andrus.
And, Coach, I can't wait to host that show with you, and I know a lot of Colts fans can't wait to see this guy on the field this season for their horseshoes. Safety Dwight Lowry joins me now. And, Dwight, why the Colts? What made you choose Indianapolis coming over from Atlanta?
A lot of it was just a good fit between the organization and between myself, and them wanting to win is a big one. That's very mutual. You know, the longer you play, it's hard to get an opportunity to really win, and I feel like this place has an opportunity for that.
Mike Adams is a guy who came over to Indianapolis last year. People didn't know what to expect. He was awesome, made his first Pro Bowl. How have you meshed with him so far?
It's been great. You know, Mike's a true professional. Mike and I have a mutual friend, so it kind of broke the ice a little bit there. And just him and I, you know, we're similar in how we see the game, have a great relationship, working relationship, and it's been great.
What stood out to you about this defense in particular? Maybe not so much X's and O's, but just whether it's vibe in the locker room, on-field dynamic, off-field dynamic. What stuck out to you?
So far since I've been here?
Yeah.
I would say that it's hard to say anything stuck out. I see a progression though, and I see where it's going, and I see, I think Minuski's a great coordinator. He brings great energy every single day. And I think that just trickles down, you know, and it allows you to be yourself. And defensively, you gotta be yourself and have a little bit of swagger in order to play great defense. And I feel like we're headed in that direction.
A lot of people around here know Greg Minuski is a pretty funny guy as well. Have you found that part out about your new defensive coordinator?
Early and often, every day. Like I said, the energy's great though. You know, sometimes when you come in and you may not feel like you're at 100% or your A game and whatnot. He always brings the energy, and I mean it's just so great for not just for the defense but for the football team as well.
Lastly, for you, Buffalo Week 1 will be here before we know it. Have you started preparing already? Either way, what's the next step?
Oh yeah, I've started to prepare already. You know, obviously here supporting teammates tonight. You know how the NFL goes. This is a sensitive time, but you know, still got to prepare for what's next, and Buffalo's going to present a great challenge, and it's the opening game, and you know, they need to make a statement each and every single game, and that's what we prepare for, and that's what we're going to do.
Dwight Lowry, thanks so much for joining us as we go back to the booth.
What a play by Brian Bennett, who came out, scrambled for his life out there, somehow finds Tyler Varga, and Varga makes the catch and picks up the first down as Trevor Roach brings him down.
Just awesome. You know, nobody there in the beginning. He pulls his best friend Tarkenton, gets it out to his running mate there, who continues to make guys miss and get upfield. He's fun to watch. 38. Varga is fun to watch.
14-yard gain in that play, and your reference to Fran Tarkington's a good one, Coach. That's the way Fran Tarkington played back there.
Ball out there flailing.
First down. I hadn't heard a Fran Tarkington reference in years, and maybe some of those who are not as old as we are. No, and here we got a problem.
Oh, no.
Colts just gave up the football on a fumble because Bennett got hammered out there, and Marcus Hardison recovers, it looks like, for Cincinnati. And we hope everybody gets up healthy. Well, there's Bennett, so he does. That's a good thing. But we'll take a look at it again here, Coach.
Running on the field is a fumble covered by the defense. First down, Cincinnati.
I see Bennett going back.
Pressure off that left edge right from the beginning. That's that Carter kid. That Carter kid is going to make his way into the lineup for Cincinnati. Just mark my word before it's all over.
That's Chris Carter you speak of, and obviously he makes a big play there, and the Colts give up the football, and that means we're down to the final 3:54 of this football game, and it's time to take a look at the Tom Wood Lexus drive of the game, Coach.
Yeah, and this first one is an excellent play by Carter. This is what we hope to get out of him. That's a catch and run play over the middle. Excellent, good throw, excellent. Comes right back out here to McGrath in the flat on quick rhythm. And now this is a one where his feet makes it. This is Bennett as an athlete. And the one and only.
And a Vinatieri for that field goal to tie this thing at 6-all. But right now, the Colts have given up the football. And the drive of the game was brought to you by Tom Wood Lexus, who invites you to test drive a Lexus today. Well, a mistake there and a hard pass rush there by Cincinnati, and they knock the ball free from Brian Bennett. And Cincinnati takes up the football at the 34-yard line when play resumes, and obviously that's going to be a tough task to keep Cincinnati stopped here and keep them from getting anything more, well, anything at all, but a field goal is more than likely. And there's a taking a look at the regular season schedule for Indianapolis, and of course that opener against Buffalo is huge.
It really is, Don. In these first two games, you're probably looking at top 5 defenses in the National Football League. So, you know, they're going to be tough outs. You know, both of them have some quarterback issue, but they're going to be tough outs. Then you come back into that division for 3 games. So, you know, big key game, big pivotal game next week.
Start the season with a pivotal game. That always tells you it's going to be interesting, doesn't it?
It sure does. Well, like I said, the expectation, our bar is high here.
No doubt about that. Here is Wenning handing the ball off to Wilder, and he finds a big hole on the right side. And James Wilder Jr. comes up with a big run for Cincinnati and puts them in field goal range immediately as Cam Johnson makes the stop on the play.
Straight counter play. Colts have a slant down. They wall us down. Can't get the linebacker. Mwamba can't get out. They get a hat on him. Wilder looked pretty good running through there.
Ball resting at the 15 now, and 1st and 10 for Cincinnati. Bengals at 2-1 of this preseason. And Wilder breaks the first tackle. And then they gang tackle him down near the 10-yard line, probably around the 11. Colts tonight, however, I think when you look at the overall picture of what this team did tonight, with a lot of the backups playing most of this football game, some real positives, and more than that, probably a look at a couple of guys that are going to make this squad, especially as free agents.
Yeah, no question about it. And you know, the guys we just talked about, it's a really good day for Carter. You know, we were hoping to get that. I think he solidified himself. Varga makes it tremendously interesting.
No doubt about that. Wilder again.
Then on the other side of it, I don't want to wear out a
This is the first charge timeout, Indianapolis. 30 seconds.
You're sitting there, Don, with 2:56 to go, and you got Chapman and Montour Hughes in the game. So like I said, go Stanford next week.
Well,
and that's fine with me. I mean, I think those two guys both have a lot of upside, and you got to go with it.
Well, there's no doubt that when you're playing guys like Chapman and Hughes this late in the preseason games, there's still some question marks, right?
Oh, there's no question. Very seldom will you ever play guys you're counting on starting next week at this stage of the game. It's telling all the way.
Well, today's special teams player of the game is brought to you by your Central Indiana Honda dealers and CentralIndianaHondaDealers.com. And that guy is Adam Vinatieri. Take a look at him in a moment. Right now, Cincinnati on a 3rd down play at the 11. And Winning's toss into the end zone is way overthrown, incomplete. And that'll bring up 4th down, and obviously a kicking situation where that man is as good as there is and has ever been in the NFL. Adam Vinatieri. He's just had a phenomenal career and continues to roll on at the age of 39, I believe. Tom Obarski will get the opportunity to untie this thing. He missed one earlier from about this same distance. Rookie out of Concordia St. Paul getting an opportunity to kick a field goal here in the preseason for the 2nd time tonight. And this time he is perfect. So that kick gives Cincinnati a 9-6 lead with just 2 minutes and 49 seconds to go in this football game. And obviously Cincinnati with the lead now, looking like they may pick up their 3rd win of the season. Let's bring Steve Andrus into with a couple of questions or answers.
A little bit of both. How about that?
Go ahead. At least you're not sweating tonight.
No. Roof's open. It's a beautiful evening, guys. One thing I did want to touch on, though, with all the talk about guys trying to make the roster, is what the protocol is after this game. And by Saturday at 4 o'clock, that's when teams around the league have to cut down from 75 to 53 players. Now, at Sunday, 1 o'clock, that's when you can also sign 10 players to the practice squad. So just wanted to clean some things up, let people know that's the timeline for when things will be decided for this Colts roster. And then there's always the possibility in between Saturday at 4 o'clock and Sunday at 1 o'clock of the Colts picking up a guy off waivers from another team. That's one other aspect of the situation that we haven't touched on as well.
Well, you know, I talked about that early. You're exactly right. This is a busy weekend because basically the scouts have got a line on several guys that the Colts may be interested for those bottom roster spots. Plus, I said this earlier, Steve, is you don't laugh at that practice squad. That practice squad, if a kid makes one of those 10, there's 320 jobs in the NFL, and he lasts a whole year. I said it early, that's $107,000 a year. And I guarantee you a kid coming out of college is not going to make that. So, you know, again, a very important weekend. But the coaches, personnel people will be working around the clock this weekend because you've got to look at every kid on that waiver wire. And to make a point here, the bottom of your roster, Don, will compete with the waiver wire for the next 17 Sundays. Every time a guy's on there, if you're the 53 guy, you're nervous.
You saw a long shot there of Ryan Grigson, the man who will make a lot of these decisions here in the next couple of days. And we'll talk more about that in just a second here as Brian Bennett goes back to work at the 20. And a little dump off pass to Varga out of the backfield, gets spun around but picks up 3-4 yards. Coach, talk a little bit about the practice squad, how you get there, because obviously just because you get cut doesn't mean that you're automatically on the practice squad.
No, that's by invitation only, basically. And basically, if you get cut, that you have your choice to be on the practice spot. Now, once you're on the practice squad, okay, you're on that squad, and if any team wants you, they can take you off a practice squad only if they put you on their 53-man roster.
10-yard penalty.
So, you know, there is some jockeying back and forth. And actually, when I said that $107,000, that is minimum because you can pay a kid beyond that. And that happens sometimes when another team is interested in kitting a kid, and yet he likes it with you. He thinks he's got a great future. If you pay him a little bit more, sometimes you keep him. And you know, I mean, obviously it's a big deal.
Can you pay them whatever you want to pay them?
You can actually pay them whatever you want to. Now you have cap issues, but yes, you can. The minimum is like, I think $6,300. I think it comes out weekly.
Gotcha. Here's Bennett again. Second down. Trying to dump that off the Varg out of the backfield. Didn't quite get it to him this time.
This has been tough, and you know, I should say this, Cincinnati, now they're down to their 3s, but Cincinnati's 2s on defense are a bunch of high draft picks. Actually, they've kind of called it a put up or shut up year for Hunt, you know, for Hunt and Stills and some of those guys. But the guy that's been superior and has been superior tonight is Carter. 49.
Yeah, Chris Carter has played a really good football game. Here's a good throw, or I shouldn't say a good throw, a hard throw by Brian Bennett, and it gets picked off. So Bennett makes a mistake. Floyd Raven Sr. is the man who intercepts for Cincinnati.
Ruling on the field
pretty much
is an interception. This is the 2-minute warning.
So the 2-minute warning here in Indianapolis, and Cincinnati will have the football when we return in great field position.
Cast is copyrighted by the NFL for the private use of our audience. Any other use of this telecast or of any pictures, descriptions, or accounts of the game without the NFL's consent is prohibited.
Here at Lucas Oil Stadium, there you see Chuck Pagano. He, along with Ryan Grigson and the coaching staff, will have to make some very difficult decisions here in the next few days in regard to getting down to the 53-man roster as Cincinnati goes into their kneel offense, in which they're just trying to run out the clock here, and we get a chance to talk a little bit more.
You know, Don, and I said this to you here on the break, you know, and really what's hectic for the coaching staff and the personnel people is the 53 and then the next 48 hours, because once that waiver wire is there, then you've got really critical decisions. The practice squad will kind of take care of itself. And if you lose out there, you lose out there. But on that 53-man roster that you cut down to on Saturday, you may make exchanges on Sunday afternoon once that waiver wire is out. You know, for the first couple weeks, you may do that. And so, you know, those are tough decisions. Those are always my toughest decision. Might be a fourth linebacker, for instance. But, you know, but with the way, with Irving not maybe ready to play a whole game, that kid is critical to next week. And then all of a sudden you bring in somebody who's maybe a better athlete, but he has no idea your system. And those are the tough calls that you make there. And that's a 48-hour period that used to just absolutely drive me crazy. And in the meantime, you're getting ready for Buffalo X and O-wise.
Right.
I mean, it's a bit of a crazy time right there.
Well, the clock has run down inside 50 seconds now, and Cincinnati is just continues to take the knee, and will do so again. And that looks like it will end this football game as the two teams head out across the field here, and things will wrap up for the 2015 preseason for both the Indianapolis Colts and the Cincinnati Bengals. The Bengals go 3-1 in the preseason. The Colts will go 1-3. Tonight's final score will be 9-6. All the points in this football game scored on field goals.
Yeah, they really were. And, you know, there's some good news things. I think the two good news things three things, actually. On offense, they did play those starters a little bit to give them a little bit more seasoning in there. Carter was a plus. Varga's a plus. You know, on defense, I think maybe the biggest plus is that I think you're going to define Anderson and Perry as big players next week in the opener at Buffalo.
We've come to the conclusion here in a moment, and we'll be back with our final thoughts on tonight's game in a moment.